Hey everybody, welcome back to the Centaur Fragrance channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Of course, my name is Benjamin, and I review fragrances, colognes, perfumes, and all things scent related. So today I hope I earn your like, your comment, your subscribe, and of course I hope that you join me on this fragrance journey. So let's jump into this topic. This is the top 10 popular or top 10 best fragrances that I don't talk about on my channel. I was thinking about naming it the top 10 most disliked fragrances or the best fragrances that I dislike. That's a little bit clickbaity. I kind of did a video like that in the past. I'll link it below if you want to check it out. But these are fantastic fragrances that I just don't talk about, and I gotta explain why. Maybe you have a favorite fragrance, maybe you've heard about some of these fragrances, and you wonder why I don't talk about them. Today, I'm here to help you. Let's talk about these. Of course, I don't own any of these bottles except for one at the very end. I don't want to spoil, but we got to jump into these, and I'll put their pictures right here. So the first one is Prada L'Homme. Now, everybody probably in the fragrance community and the fragrance world probably knows about it. It's a soft iris fragrance that's kind of sparkly. It smells kind of like clean fabric. It's very fresh. It's inviting. It can be dressed up or dressed down. It's a fantastic alternative to Reflection Man for the price and the quality. It really works. It can't draw in compliments, and it's a pretty good performer too. So Prada L'Homme, I wanted to put this at the very first because I recognize that this is a fantastic fragrance, but Dior Homme Eau just speaks to me more. It's more artistic. Yes, it can have a little bit more of that lipstick vibe, but I find it much more interesting, more complex, and it is one of the only Dior fragrances that speaks to me, so I'm happy to have a Dior in my fragrance collection. But I did want to mention some alternatives. Moschino Umo, I'm going to be mentioning this fragrance a lot more. This is one of the ones I own, and it's a fantastic cheapie. You can find it around $25. An affordable fragrance that smells sophisticated, similar to Prada L'Homme, not as bright, not as youthful. So if you're, a sophisticated guy, maybe a businessman, and you don't mind a fragrance that's a tiny bit on the powdery side, it smells very clean, very nice, a little bit on the sophisticated side. Moschino Umo is one of the best affordable fragrances, in my opinion, out there. And of course, I've started to really like Al Haramain's La Aventure Blanche. Now, I've mentioned this is a clone of Silver Mountain Water, and it's not very similar particularly. But for me, this clean, white, linen kind of fabric DNA, this is the kind of thing I would reach for because not only is it very versatile, but it's a little bit more unique. It just speaks to me a little bit more. It's sophisticated, yet citrusy, and so lovable. So check out La Aventure Blanche. I really like how versatile and affordable they make that Silver Mountain Water DNA. So the next one is Dior Allure Homme Extreme. So this fragrance, y'all probably know all about it. It gets hype and a lot of love here and there in the fragrance world. This fragrance is soft and clean, sophisticated. It too can be dressed up or dressed down. It's a really nice fragrance overall. It's really hard to hate on it. It's very mass appealing, and it's a very well done, very well composed fragrance, no doubt about it. But I find that the softness of the tonka and the little bit of sweetness for me doesn't work with an aquatic fragrance. That's just my personal taste. Things like Versace the Dreamer and other fragrances out there like that just don't work for me. So this is a wonderful fragrance, and it's just not my personal taste, I guess I could say. It's very inoffensive, one of the best inoffensive fragrances out there. For me personally, if I wanted to go for that Allure Homme DNA, I think that Allure Homme Edition Blanche is a fantastic alternative. I love how the smoothness comes off with the tonka. I love the little bit of like mint, and I love how it's fresh and it's happy, and I love how the lemon comes off. It's a little bit more bright, and I feel like it's a little bit more, I don't know, even of a fragrance, a little bit more well-rounded. So that's just my personal opinion, and of course everybody compares it to Versace Pour Homme. Versace Pour Homme has a similar feel, but it's much more of a Italian citrus fragrance. but it is a lot more affordable, and I own that fragrance and I wear that fragrance. So for me, Dior Allure Homme, the extreme version is just not for me. The next one is La Nuit de l'Homme. Now, y'all might be surprised. I'll put a picture up there. And yes, I used to have 2 vintage bottles that I sold. Now, why would I sell this fragrance, and why don't I talk about this fragrance much anymore? It's a lady killer fragrance. It's a compliment getter. It's fantastic. One of the big reasons is I just couldn't get over the fact that YSL diluted this fragrance, reformed it so much that even though there's not a dramatic difference, maybe 10 or 15% of difference between the projection and the longevity between the original batch and the version we have today, maybe 10, 15, maybe 20% at the most. It's not that dramatic of a difference, but for me, it's still underhanded. It's still kind of shady, and it still bothers me to this day that they did that, and they had so much going for them. It's still a very good selling fragrance. It's still an amazing cuddle fragrance when you know you're going to be, close to somebody, close situations, intimate situations. That kind of fragrance is still one of the best to go for. And a lot of people know about it, and it has so much popularity. People are still going to buy that fragrance for years to come. But for me, there are fantastic cardamom fragrances, soft, spicy, lavender type of fragrances out there that just suit my personality, and they're better for the price. So the first one I want to mention is CH Men Privé. You are going to hear a lot about this fragrance in the upcoming fall. It's a little bit boozy, soft, spicy, kind of has that lavender feel, almost has a little bit of like a fresh tobacco feel. It's a wonderful fragrance. Masculine, a little bit darker. Love that fragrance. It's so versatile. It definitely has a bad boy vibe going on through and through. So if you want to wear your black leather jacket, if you want to, get on your Harley, if you're that kind of guy, definitely check out CH Men Privé. Now, of course, there's Tommy Hilfiger's Endless Blue. Now, I talk about this cheapie as an alternative even to La Nuit de l'Homme because it's so fantastic. It's so fresh. It's so likable. It's a little bit more boozy. It's soft and spicy. It's so likable and close to $25. Some people are finding it, at the $20 mark or less even. It's a fantastic value. Really love that fragrance. So give it a chance. It's an interesting fragrance, and it becomes a little bit more of a safe scent as it dries down. It becomes a little bit more transparent, which some people are going to like and some people are not going to like. But the last one, or 2 I wanted to mention really, is Lacoste Pour Homme. Now this is one of the fragrances that has that soft cardamom lavender feel, but it can be dressed up or dressed down. It's fantastic, gentlemanly, can be worn to the office, and it's just a tried and true fragrance. I don't know why this fragrance is not talked about and loved in the fragrance community that much. It's a little bit of a safe fragrance, it's a little bit of a safe option, but it's still a little bit interesting, and it's affordable, it's available, and it is a compliment getter, so definitely check that one out. Of course, I wanted to mention real quick Alexandria's Black Tie Affair. I need to do a review on that one. Check it out, a fantastic fragrance. You got to check that one out. It's smooth and sophisticated. If you want something that's classy and can be a La Nuit de l'Homme killer, check out Black Tie Affair. It's a little bit more on the oud side, but it's definitely wearable and easy to approach. So the next one I wanted to talk about was Creed Tabarom. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Creed in general for their price. For, especially their older creations, I don't really care for much or any of them. And I just don't like really the kind of the marketing and what they're doing for their price tag and for what their cost is. For me personally, if I'm going for niche, I want something that's exclusive, and Creed is so popular that they've lost that exclusivity, and if I want something pricey, I want something that's exclusive, something that's high quality, different, unique, something where the ingredients are something stunning and how it's composed is kind of daring. So Creed really doesn't do that for me at all. Now, Creed Tabarom is interesting because it is a mix of tobacco, fresh tobacco, kind of like a fresh green tobacco bud, and citrus. And the citrus is kind of mellow, it's kind of like flat, but yet it is kind of interesting with that duality of freshness and tobacco. That's mostly what you're getting. There's some soft spice going on, and some other things, of course. But Creed Tabarome is one that I tried to love and tried to wear over and over, just like Versace the Dreamer, and it would never stick. I never enjoyed wearing that fragrance at all. That's just me personally. Let's jump to the next one. The next one is MFK's Oud Satin Mood. Now, y'all probably know all about this fragrance. Y'all know how fantastic it is. And about a year ago or so, this one was getting some serious hype. It was getting some serious love out there. And it's a compliment getter. It's well composed. It's smooth. And it's sweet. For me personally, there's too much rose. And this rose is candied. It's a very sweet rose. And although it is unisex, for me personally, it's just too hard to wear. I would definitely suggest that one for a lady. If you're a lady out there and you want an oud fragrance, you know, Oud Satin Mood and Oud Bouquet are probably some of the best ones that you can try. Oud Bouquet is a little bit more challenging, but Oud Satin Mood is something that's fantastic and dark, sultry, and fancy as well. So hard to dislike it. It just doesn't work for me. You know, hard to wear kind of fragrance. Next one is kind of in the similar boat or the similar vein of things. Baccarat Rouge 540 is very hard for me to wear. It is a cotton candy fragrance, a crushed hard sugar type of fragrance mixed with mint, mixed with a little bit of this like old cherry cough syrup, mixed to perfection, and somehow comes off as a beautiful fragrance. Of course, with that ambergris DNA or that ambergris feel. So there's a lot of good going on with this fragrance. It's hyped and it's loved for a very good reason. For me, it's just too hard to wear. I can't pull it off. I can't wear it. It doesn't sit well with me. And also in my demographic, around the people, I'm around in a smaller town, it comes off feminine. It smells feminine to me personally. So this is not the kind of fragrance I can wear. So any alternatives I would suggest is Blue Fire by Happyland. It is unisex still, but it's still easy to wear. It's very nice in the sweetness and the cough syrup. It's not really present at all. So for me, it's a little bit more linear, but the ambergris is definitely kicked up a notch, and it's super versatile, and it really has good performance, just like Baccarat Rouge 540. So I really love that, and I'm looking forward and excited to trying Instant Crush by Mansara. And of course, there's those oils I introduced to y'all by Zoha. And those oils of Baccarat Rouge 540 were killing it for the price and for the smell. And they might even be an improvement on the original. So definitely check out Zoha and their oils and their interpretation of Baccarat Rouge 540. So the next one is Parfums de Marly Layton. Now this might shock y'all. Don't dislike this video. But Layton is a fantastic fragrance. I trumpet and I sound how wonderful this fragrance is from the rooftops as well. It's a compliment getter. It smells fantastic. It has apple. It has a coffee vibe. I think the exclusive is the one with the coffee, but it has a very Western oud to it. It smells a little bit unique, but it's so playful. It's kind of on the gourmand side, but it's not too much for those guys who don't like gourmands. And it's so versatile. Layton is a real winner. But for me, I still have Givenchy Play Intense in my collection. I really do enjoy it. And I find it similar enough to, especially Herod by Parfums de Marly. But it has a similar feel overall that I'm not going to be reaching for Parfums de Marly for a while. And then, of course, there's the exclusive. Layton exclusive for me is more masculine, more deep, the kind of thing I want a little bit more out of a niche fragrance. And I really do like a little bit of animalic twist that makes it sensual, that makes it a little bit more daring. I really do like Layton exclusive, and I think I will buy a bottle of that one day. So, Parfums de Marly Layton, fantastic fragrance. I only put this fragrance a little bit higher on the list because it's so popular. but it's still a fantastic fragrance. So definitely check it out. Next one is Kilian Black Phantom. Now, Kilian's Black Phantom is a wonderful fall winter fragrance. It's going to be hitting top 10 list for a good reason. It's going to get some love for a very good reason. I don't talk about this fragrance because one of the price tag's a little high, it's a little steep, but still a very well crafted fragrance. It's very well done. It has a unique booziness to it. It has those kind of dark, inky woods, a little bit of smoke, and a good bit of sweetness to it. It's just so mass appealing. It just works so well. When I tried to wear it though, even though I think it's mass appealing, for its DNA, for how kind of daring the notes and the composition is with the smoke, with the ink and those kinds of things. Sometimes it got positive attention and sometimes it didn't. For me, it kind of was similar to Encre Noir because of how dark the woods were. It almost sometimes smelled kind of dank sometimes. And sometimes like that substance, and sometimes like just dark woods, like musty woods, like woods, that are about to possibly rot. So it's not the most pleasant dry down smell to me a lot of the time. That's just my opinion. I found a fragrance called Black Musk by Mad Ed Lin. I plan to buy it. I'm trying to save money for it. It's a fantastic fragrance. It's smoky. It's a little bit more linear, but its performance is amazing. It's a real winner, and that fragrance speaks to me, and it doesn't have the inky vibe at all. So you're going to hear more about that in the future to come. So definitely, Kilian Black Phantom is fantastic. Check it out. But of course, give Alexandria a chance for the money and for the performance. I'm not paid to talk about them, but I really do like Alexandria's work. So the next one is Lalique Encre Noir, especially the extreme version. I think the extreme, the added booziness improves the fragrance, and I feel it's a little bit more fancy and elegant, and maybe the quality's even higher. So that's just saying something. This fragrance is one of the best values on the market. Encre Noir is sophisticated in dark woods. If you're a vetiver lover, it's going to knock you out. It's going to be one of your dreams come true. It's an amazing value. $25, $30 mark. Encre Noir is hard to dislike for the quality and for what you're getting, but it's more for a masculine man. I see people who promote this fragrance and talk about this fragrance, and sometimes the guys who look at this fragrance, they're first starting their fragrance journey, and maybe they're around 20. And maybe there's some of you guys out there who are 20 years old and love this fragrance. But if you're first getting into the fragrance game and you're 20 years old, I think Encre Noir is going to be real hard to take a hold of. This is more like a niche fragrance for a, cheapy or affordable price. And that's a real win when you can get that. That's a win-win-win when you can get something that's available, so affordable, smells like niche, it performs, it rings all the bells. But it's just dark, it's kind of hard to wear, and I think I'm going to have to sell my Encre Noir Extreme. I know some of y'all might dislike that. I do think that if you found that Bentley Intense was not masculine enough for you, maybe you're uber masculine, Encre Noir L Extreme is fantastic, and I really suggest that you check it out. But for me personally, I have Bulgari Man in Black. I find myself in those winter situations, in those fall night situations, when I want something dark and sophisticated, I reach for Bulgari Man in Black. It's kind of a mature, improved version of Spice Bomb. It's so beautiful, it's so playful, it's a wonderful fragrance. I love that fragrance. And the next one is Mugler Pure Tonka. Now this one isn't similar at all, really, but it still has that dark vibe. It's got chocolate. This one's a gourmand. It has coffee. It has tonka. It smells roasted and toasted and beautiful, smooth, chocolatey, and a little bit dusty. So Mugler Pure Tonka is a wonderful fragrance for the upcoming fall, and of course the winter too. So the last one, I do have one I wanted to sneak in after the last one, but the last one here is Versace's Dylan Blue. Now this is a fantastic compliment getter. I know it. You know it. It's a fantastic fragrance. It needs the love. It needs the love and the talk and the hype. It's a real competitor to Dior Sauvage. It's a real winner of a fragrance. It has performance. It is a, definitely gets the ladies. Versace Dylan Blue is one of the best releases out there in the designer world. But for me, personally, it's a little too sweet. And I want something a little bit more elegant. I find that I want something fancy. Maybe I am wanting fragrances that are a little bit more posh. That's just me personally. I think Versace Dylan Blue is definitely on the playful side. And this is not a fragrance I think that would be easy to dress up. So Versace Dylan Blue, for me, is a fragrance that I think I'm going to have to sell. It's not something that I personally wear, even though it's so good. Every time I wear it, I know that people are going to like how it smells. It's not only is it inoffensive, it's uber mass appealing. Everybody likes it. Everybody wears it. And again, if you're looking for a compliment getter, if you're a younger guy and you're looking to, boost your image and boost your appeal to the ladies, if you're that kind of guy, Versace Dylan Blue is highly recommended. Last one I wanted to mention, and sneak here at the very end, was Dirty English. Now, I think this fragrance discontinued. It's a fantastic fragrance for some people out there. Some people really love this fragrance. It's one of their favorites. It's kind of like a dry amber fragrance with some spice. It's kind of a bad boy fragrance, but for me, it just had little to no performance. It gave me very poor projection and lasted 4, maybe 5 hours on clothes. So I did not like that fragrance. Then I came across Costume National's Soul. That fragrance has serious performance. It's a little bit more niche. It's drier. But it's so much more complex. It's so bolder and strong. If you like Dirty English and you never rebought a bottle, or maybe you're scared about, looking at the prices really haven't gone up yet. But Costume National Soul is probably one to look at. It's not too pricey. It's available out there. And Costume National doesn't get a lot of love, really. And it's a really good fragrance, so definitely check that one out. And of course, there is Gucci Absolute out there, which I think is discontinued. And it has lovers and haters, of course. But I felt it was very well done. If you like Dior Fahrenheit and the like, definitely check out Gucci Absolute. So, thank y'all so much for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed this top 10, popular fragrances that I might sell or I just don't like anymore. And top 10 fragrances that I just don't talk about on my channel. I hope you enjoyed this topic. I want to tag a few people here at the very end. I want to tag Danielson. Now, he's a fantastic guy and a reviewer. You got to check him out. And this guy, I would love to see his list. He has interesting taste. Sometimes he likes things and sometimes he dislikes things. He's a little bit choosy, just like me. So he's a fantastic guy. The next one I want to tag is I've already tagged Medi and I've already tagged Scented Waters in my last video. So maybe I'll tag Centrifugal Force. I don't know if he watches my channel. I don't know if he even knows that I exist. But he's one of the guys in the fragrance world that doesn't get a lot of love. And he's been at the game for a long time. He has a strong personality. I love his vibe. And he comes out with killer top 10 lists. So check him out, Centrifugal Force. I tag you in this video. And I wish you the very best in your channel and your life's endeavors. I love your channel, man. Love your passion. So let's... I want to wrap up this video, and again, thank you all for being here today. Of course, I hope that I earned your like, your comment, your subscribe, even sharing this video. I hope I earned that today. And I'll see y'all next time. This has been the Scented Fragrance channel. Of course, wear what you love. I'm not hating on any of these fragrances or the perfumers. And I hope that I represented them fairly and well. So I'll see y'all next time. This is the Scented Fragrance channel, and bye.